You and the Westdale. It's quite the story. Folks watching movies right here since 1935, with the good times rolling up to 2017, when the grand old lady was almost torn down. But thanks to fundraising, it was saved by a group of community volunteers, folks like you. And now, the Westdale's a showpiece, a not-for-profit charitable organization restored to its full glory and heritage designated to boot. Cool. So then right from this very seat, you could check out way more than just great movies. There's all kinds of arts and culture, music, talks, performances, and of course, popcorn. But like in all good stories, there's an unexpected twist. 2020 hits and bam, the new normal, with stages going dark all over the world. Thank you. Now, it doesn't take a PhD in accounting to know no lights, no camera, no cash. Which means we need a little help from our friends to keep on keeping on. So if you can donate a little or a lot, it sure would help us keep the lights on, making you one of the heroes of this story. Stay tuned for the next chapter in the Westdale.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hamilton Originals. We got Steve Strongman tonight. Take it away.
Listen to me, baby, I got something to say. We're in way too deep to be acting this way. I got news for you. This is as good as it gets. Well, if there's something better out there, I haven't seen it yet. It's always one more thing that you want me to do. Seems like you got plans, well, I got some for you. Get yourself together. Come, baby, you ain't seen nothing yet, yeah. Well, if there's something better out there, I haven't seen it yet. Why don't you act sweet like I know you can? You know talk is cheap, oh honey, here I am. I got news for you. I can't give as good as I get, yeah. Well, if there's something better out there, I haven't seen it yet. Well, if there's something better out there, I haven't seen it yet. Well, if there's something better out there, I haven't seen it yet.
Steve Strongman, ladies and gentlemen. Holy mackerel.
Thank you.
Yeah, hey, we got 3 people clapping out there tonight. We are in COVID, so we just got a few people out there, as you know. And thanks for joining us tonight on the Hamilton Originals here on YouTube and Facebook, wherever you're watching it, wherever you may be, your living room, your bedroom, your bathroom, the rec room. We don't care. It's all good, eh, Steve?
As long as they're watching, that's what matters.
That's
Good evening, everybody. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, Steve Strongman. I've been excited to play with this guy for some time now. So here we are. I felt like in that last song, we got to stand up. It was like really grooving there. I felt like dancing. So,
Yeah, I felt it too.
yeah.
I'm sure some of your guests have alluded to the fact that it's a little bit different being in such a beautiful space and not necessarily having all these people here, but there's still an energy about it, isn't there?
There still is, because we're live.
Especially for me, because the last time I performed here was with my band and doing a CD release, and it was a very special night for me. It was great, so it's nice to be back.
Yeah, that was last year. Steve Strongman and his band, the CD release. We're going to show you a little clip of that a little later on. But let's ask you, I just got to ask you a few questions there,
Yeah.
Steve. Like, for starters, I know you grew up in Kitchener, not Hamilton, but Kitchener. That's close enough.
That is correct.
All right.
I did. Born and raised in Kitchener, and my mom's from Hamilton. My dad's from Hamilton. My two older brothers were born in Hamilton.
Close
and
enough.
then I met my girlfriend, now my wife, at the time, and she was from Hamilton.
So that's pretty well Hamiltonian.
Yeah,
then.
it was pretty amazing. So when we decided that I was going to move from Kitchener to here, I was spending a lot of time on the road anyway, and it didn't really matter where I was living because I was touring a lot at that time. Yeah. And it was 25 years ago now, so but it's pretty unbelievable. So I made the move to Hamilton, as hard as it was, because I have really, really deep roots in Kitchener, and learning how to play music and be a professional musician and growing up in that kind of environment was a really amazing thing, a very special thing for me. But then I never forget when I moved here to Hamilton. I remember one of the first nights I was here, prior to me actually moving here. We went down, and it was my wife, Meredith, and her brother, Mark, and we went out to Hess Village. He said, we gotta go check out some music. And I was walking down in Hess Village. This was back in the day that, of course, you remember, when there was music all the time. I walked out front of a place called Ivory's, and I just stopped, and I went, I got to go in there and check it out. And I walked in there, and Harrison Kennedy was playing, and Brian Griffith.
Oh,
and the whole band that they had there was absolutely amazing. But I remember this thought in my head, like, what is this place? These guys are absolutely incredible. They blew my mind. They were just so good. And as we've all realized now, these are world-class, talented people that are coming from here, and it's really amazing.
Yeah, it is really. I mean, we got quite a collection of great musicians, and not to mention artists and authors and all sorts of different cultural sort of things going on here in the Hammer, and we love it. But let's move on to another song. What do you say,
Yeah,
Steve?
sure.
We got more songs up our sleeve. Oh, you're getting the electric going.
I just like to point out how amazing your 335 is. I've got one myself, so.
We got two 335, so that's a 670, I think. And yeah, and they're both red.
Yeah. All right, so we're going to play a tune that I wrote that came out on my CD, which is called A Natural Fact, and it's about just sitting down and relaxing on a beautiful night like tonight. And it's about sitting on your rocking chair. It's called the Rocking Chair Blues, right?
Oh.
I'm gonna go out and buy I'm gonna buy me a rocking chair. I'm gonna lean back and forth and I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna think of all the things that I would like to do. Yeah, but mostly I think I'm just gonna think of you. I'm gonna sit in that chair and I'm just gonna sit and rock. If my mind starts to racing, oh baby, I was gonna make it stop. I'm gonna think of all the things that I would wish I had done. Yeah, but mostly I think I'm just gonna think of one. I'm gonna go out and buy me. I'm gonna buy me a rocking chair. I ain't gonna do nothing. I'm just gonna sit there. I'm gonna think of all the things, yeah. All the things that I would like to do. Yeah, but mostly I think I'm just gonna think of you. Yeah, just me and you and these rocking chair blues. Rocking chair blues.
Rocking chair blues.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's a nice slow one. You can almost rock your chair to that beat. Yeah, I could kind of feel it, you know.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, now let's talk a little bit about your band. You got a killer band there. I mean, typically, I know you play with a lot of different guys, but there's Dave King usually on the drums.
Yes.
Colin.
I'm so lucky to have these guys. I've been working with for, we thought about it the other day, I think it was about almost 25 years now. Certainly Dave King and I met, I believe it was, I was touring with a country band based out of the KW area. Great killer band called the Gousset Family. So Jim Gousset and his son and his daughter Shane Gousset and Nicole, they were a traveling fiddle band, but they tap dance as well. Oh. And man, that was in my 20s in Kitchener. I couldn't believe it when I got the gig. But anyway, I bring that up because all of a sudden I show up to do this gig in Hamilton. I think it was at Carmen's, maybe. It was a place like that. And it was the first time that I had met Dave King. We had a new drummer in the band. They said, this is the new drummer. And of course, Dave and I became incredibly close friends, and we still are to this day. We work together, and I just feel spoiled to be able, in a position like mine, to be able to tour around the world and have guys that are literally your best friends. So Dave is definitely like that, a huge talent, and Colin Lapsley has been with me for the same amount of time. Yep. You know, Colin, another killer, you know, very talented guy from Hamilton here. And Colin and I, and Colin and his brother Craig before that, we were together. We used to play all the time in trios. And so it's just so nice to get a chance and an opportunity when you can get on stage, on these stages where you're, you know, in front of thousands of people like we've all been able to do together. And you just know that you're up there doing it with your buddies. It's a really amazing thing. And through thick and thin, I mean, these guys have stuck with me all that time. So we always, I love it because they give me a hard time, but they're really just hugely supportive guys, and I'm lucky to have them in any chance I get. They're world-class guys, right?
Yeah, world-class.
They really are, and world-class performers, and they constantly prove that. So I'm happy you brought them up because they're awesome. So.
Yeah, they're good. Now, there's also some other famous players you played with, and I think maybe we can go through a few photos here. We got, I think you opened for Buddy Guy.
I did. I've opened for Buddy Guy 6 or 7 times now, I think. Last time I opened for Buddy Guy, he looked at me and he said, "You again?"
You again?
I swear to God.
It's sort of an off.
That was, I'm looking at the monitor here. Yeah, I think that might have been the first. I'm going to tell you a funny story about this because this is we want this environment. We want casual and true story. That picture right there, I'm almost positive that picture was taken by Paul Inson, our buddy Paul Inson. Paul Inson, who's another amazing guy that
guy.
He's so great, and
we love him.
So Paul had played with me. Maybe not on that show, but anyway, it was one of them. There's been a few times now, but I remember. So I talked to the Buddy's tour manager, great guy, and I said, I want to get a picture with Buddy. I'm opening for him. It's the first time. It's amazing, right? And he said, well, all I can tell you is your best chance is when he's done playing, you be standing right by the back door. Okay. Because the band still plays and Buddy's gone. He's out the door, right? He's out the door. So I said, okay, no problem. So I went there and I stood there. So he comes right over and I said, hey, Buddy, can we get a picture? And there's a couple of people around there like, oh, yeah, this is Steve Strongman, the opening act. Can we get a picture? I said, yeah, right? And so we're standing there like this, and I got my arm around him, and I go, so, Buddy, this is okay if we got a picture? I can get one? And he goes, you just did. And that was it.
That's it. I'm out. I'm gone.
He took the picture. He turned around, put his coat on, and left.
I see.
True story. Yeah, it's true.
You had the same hat as you, too, I see in that shot.
Yeah.
So you got to love him. Oh, God. And then we've got, we got Johnny Winter.
Oh, man.
He's
unbelievable.
He's been around the bend.
Johnny was, that was a special one for me. It was at a club in Barrie, a place called Violet's Venue. Very small venue. It was a real boutique kind of a place, which is amazing. And I've been a Johnny Winter fan, my whole life. He's just he was a huge talent. And after Johnny hangs out, this is in the trailer, so myself and just on the other side of that shot, or perhaps it's another one, is Dave King, because Dave King's a huge Johnny Winter fan as well. Oh, yeah. And we had a really nice, long, lovely chat with Johnny. This is prior, maybe 3 months, I think, prior to his death, I think. Yeah. But he was it was very, very cool to get a chance to meet a legend like that. And he, you could tell that he wasn't feeling well, I would say. Just to be honest, overall, he wasn't great, but you could still tell that that's Johnny Winter, man, because he's one of those guys that just, as soon as you hear him, whether he's playing a note on the guitar or singing, you just know that it's Johnny. Unmistakable Johnny.
Yeah, that style. And we've got, what about that guy?
Alice Cooper.
Yeah, is that his real name? Alice?
Yeah, so this is here in Hamilton, I think. I came down to see Alice Cooper. Yeah, I didn't know which pictures you were going to pick, by the way. This is cool. This is really cool. Yeah, so, and then I saw Alice, and it was a really, really cool night. And right when we were leaving, I said, hey, we got to get a picture. What's this? And he had, I think he was holding up a can of 7-Up or something like that. And he said, this looks like a 7-Up commercial. But yeah, Alice was really nice, very gracious guy. We talked a little bit about golf. He's a big golfer, as I am too.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
All right, and then we've got BB.
Man, look at that one.
There's the legend.
Yeah, of all the people that I've been very, very fortunate to meet and to perform with, BB King was super special, not just because it's BB King, but also he was so gracious with his time. He came, that was backstage at the Center in the Square in Kitchener after I had played with him and opened for him, rather. And BB just came into the back area. There was like a common area. I'm looking out to the crowd as if there's people here, but
yeah,
I just keep noticing that I'm doing that, but there's not. It's okay. It's all right. Anyway, so BB King just sat there, and he was like, came out, and he was in a wheelchair then. They took him out onto the stage, and he walked out to the stage where he performed seated.
Seated, yeah.
And then he came back, and then he was immediately in a wheelchair, and he had all his friends and band around him. And we just started talking, and he would ask people questions. There was only a handful of people back there, like 15 people maybe, photographers, us, the opening act, and right away I came out to make sure that he knew where we were coming from, and I asked him about Mel Brown, who I grew up learning from in Kitchener, in the KW area. And right away, I just said, I learned so much from Mel Brown, and Mel. And right away, he said to me, he said, we all tried to play like Mel. Back in the day, we were all trying to play what Mel was doing.
Whoa.
Which is pretty well-deserved and very heavy accolades, but it's the truth, right? So BB was just amazingly nice and very gracious with his time, and it was just such a special thing. Like, if you had told me, I always say this, years before, if you had said, Steve Strongman, you're going to get a chance to open up and, check out BB King and play on the same stage directly before BB King, I would have said, how's that going to happen?
Yeah, that won't happen.
But it did, and it was a really special thing to meet him and get a chance to do that.
Nice. BB. And let's go from BB to ZZ, or is it ZZ?
Billy. Oh, man, Billy Gibbons.
Billy Gibbons.
Yeah, I'm a huge Billy Gibbons fan.
Man, they're incredible.
Just that guy he is just so amazing. This was at a private party just outside of Hamilton area here, and Billy was hired to perform.
Whoa.
So I have to say thank you to my cuz Jesse O'Brien called me up and said you should come out to this party with me, and I went, and that was the night, and he was again just so nice, really cool guy, really gracious guy. And then I was in California, this pre-COVID at NAMM, and Billy was there, and I went up to him and I said, "Hey, Billy, how's it going?" We met, at that private party, and he remembered. He was like, "Oh yeah, man, yeah, I remember you."
Wow.
Very, very cool guy, and just
That's great.
Ridiculously talented. It's just so amazing.
That's good. And then we're going to go to one of my faves, Colin Linden.
Yeah.
Hey.
I love Colin Linden.
Oh.
As you know, he's just a huge talent. He's so good. And this is what kind of guy Colin Linden is. When I was doing my record, half the record was done here in Hamilton, and then the other half was in Nashville.
Nashville, where he's living, I think, right?
So he's living there in Nashville, and I called up our mutual buddy Tom Wilson, and I said, I'm gonna go down to Nashville, and he said, "Well, dude, you got to call Colin. Just give him a call."
Yeah.
And so that's what I did. I phoned Colin, and as busy as he is, he's like, "Where are you?" And I told him where I was, and he's like, "Oh man, you know this little spot?" And then we went and just hung out and had a coffee together, and
Yeah.
he took the time out to come and hang out, and he's just fantastic.
All right. Yeah, I saw you were in the coffee shop when they took that photo. And the next one we've got is Joe.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
look at that, man.
Little help from my friends.
Let me tell you, that is a very interesting story, what happened with that. First of all, again, Joe Cocker he stood in the wings and he watched me play. He stood there. These guys that are in Joe's position, for those of you watching, you might know this, you may not. Sometimes you don't even see them. You just see them when they walk out on the stage if you're there, and that's it. And this was a really special one for me because I got booked on that gig real last minute. They were going through the contracts and they realized that Joe didn't have an opening act, and they wanted him to do 2 sets. So my good buddy Jason Duggan, who used to be at Heck-Fi, love Jay, he's great, and John Elder, those guys, they were really good to me. And so they said, "Well, Joe, you got to take a break. We need 2 sets. We have concessions." And Joe's management said, "Yeah, we're not taking a break." Like, no way. So this is like 3 days before the gig, and they realize that there's no way it's going to be 1 set. That's it. So then Joe and his team of people concede that, okay, we'll just get a solo performer if you can do this. This is like Thursday. And I remember this so clearly because the show was on Saturday and it was my anniversary. It was my wife and I, it was our anniversary. So I had to say, so they call me up. They say, I'm not kidding. They say, okay, here's what we have. It has to be a blues male solo performer, only guitar, not piano or anything like that. He has to be over the age of 30.
Okay, you
and
fit that.
And
bill.
Jason Duggan's like, I think I got a guy. I got a guy. We can do it. So they called me up and said, "Can you open for Joe Cocker's solo show at Hamilton Place on Saturday night?" And I had to hang up the phone and go to my wife and say, "I know it's our anniversary and we have plans, but my wife is the best." So
Okay, you got to love your wife then.
you have to
okay?
love my wife.
She's
pretty
great.
amazing. Yeah,
And last but not least, we got Randy.
Randy Bachman.
Yeah.
You picked some good pictures here, man.
Hey,
These are
thank
good.
you, thank you.
Yeah.
We
So
got another one of them.
some people out there might not know this, but Randy and I have been friends for many, many years. I opened up for Randy the first time I met him was at a place called the Key to Bala.
Oh, the Key in Bala.
At the Key in Bala, and my friend Rob Zabo, Rob and I were an acoustic duo, and I was in my 20s then, and so we opened up for Randy, and this guy who was in the band started talking to me after the show, and he was like, "Hey, you sound good. You know, you play harmonica, you sing," and I said, "Yeah, you know, I'm just doing my thing." And he said, "Well, like, what is it that you're up to?" "Well, Rob and I are in a band and everything else." And then after I realized he's not just the drummer in the band, this guy I was talking to, it was Tal Bachman, which is Randy's son.
Oh.
So then a few months went by, and then Tal called me up, and he was out in Vancouver, and he invited me out there to play in his band. This was when he was trying to get his record deal started. So I went out to Vancouver, and I was like, I don't know where I'm going to stay. And Randy said, "You could just stay at my place."
Wow.
So I stayed at Randy's place for about a month.
Whoa.
We drove in, rehearsed. He was in White Rock at the time. We drove in, rehearsed every day, but he was just an amazing guy. And
Fountain of stories, I bet.
he had
Right?
about, oh man, and then I played last year. We played at Trois Rivières together, and I was there a day early. Shows you what kind of guy Randy is. And he called me up and he said, "Are you in Trois Rivières, Quebec?" I said, "Yeah, I'm playing here tomorrow night. I'm opening for Buddy Guy." He goes, "Well, I'm playing tonight." I said, "Yeah, I know." And he goes, "Do you want to get up and do a tune?" So we did it. We did my version of You Ain't Seen Nothing Yet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And Randy, he loved it. He played on it. He played on it on the record No Time Like Now. And man, great pictures.
Man, you got some good ones. Well, how about another? Oh, wait, there's another. What about
Burton
that?
and Randy.
Burton and Randy.
Yeah, that was the Bachman. I think it was the first Bachman Cummings tour, whatever you want to call it, reunion. But that was in, Port Colborne. I think that was the Tall Ships Festival, I think.
Tall Ships Festival, yeah. About what year?
Maybe 2006, 2007, I'm going to say, something like that.
Okay.
I don't know, man. I'm looking pretty young there.
Because Mark, our video tech.
1998? Maybe? No, just kidding.
We were trying to figure it out. When was that?
Okay, 2007. I think you might be right, Mark. Thank you.
Mark
I think it was
Davison.
2007. But that was amazing, and I love this because Randy didn't know I was opening the show. I thought, well, you know, of course he's going to know. And I had sent an email, but it didn't get through or something. And it was just the trio, and he came up and he stood at the side at the stage, and he was watching. He's like, "Steve, you guys sound great." It was really cool, man.
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah, very cool.
Well, let's go to another song.
Yeah,
what do you
let's play
say?
another song.
Enough gabbing. Let's have some music. Oh, you're going to get the acoustic out, are you?
What are we doing now?
All right.
Oh, yeah, we're doing this one. Okay.
Okay. You're going to do this one, I think.
I'm going to do this one.
Yeah. I'm going to sit out and just kind of listen. I love this song.
All right, so this is a tune that, I've been playing this one a long time now. It's up from my first record. By the way, you guys are doing a wonderful job here. I just want to say to the people at home, it's very nice to be here. Camera guys, audio guys, you're doing great. It's not an easy thing to do, I know. So this one's called River. Won't somebody help me, if you please? My baby is gone with the breeze. River, river, carry me far from my home. To my baby, where can she be? Well, I'm all alone. Yes, I'm all alone. When the river and the well run dry, I'm gonna get in my bed, and I'll lay there till the end of time, until my heart is dead. And the river will carry me far from my home. Tonight, baby, where can she be? Oh, I'm all alone. Yes, I'm all alone. Ooh, I'm all alone.
Mercy.
When the river and the well run dry, I'm gonna get in my bed and I'll be there to the end of time until my heart is dead. And the river will get me far from my home. Tonight, baby, where can she be? Well, I'm all alone. Yes, I'm all alone. Ooh.
River. Nice one,
Thank
Steve.
you.
Hey, that was
Thank
cooking.
you. Thank you very much. That's called River.
Now, that's like 3 different guitar styles in one. You're doing Travis picking, bottlenecking, and...
Yeah,
you're-
I get asked about that, guitar playing whilst for the guitar players out there. That's it's a Travis picking thing, right?
Travis picking.
So it's the idea when you're keeping a bass note going, or it can be even simpler.
So it's like 2 guys playing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I
then
like
you add that in. I back in the country days, I started playing with this hybrid style of using a pick and fingers like that. When I was touring with the country band, it was the only way that you could get some of that stuff.
Yeah.
And really started digging in a little deeper into great guitar players like Danny Gatton and Merle Travis and all these.
Doc Watson.
Oh man, they're
Yeah.
just like they're incredible. Sometimes you hear what they're doing at and you think, what is going on there? So I really love that too. But that's also one of the things that I've always done is I don't try and limit myself. Of course, I love blues and I hear blues and everything, but I don't really limit myself to any one style.
Yeah.
Playing wise, I like a lot of different things, and that ends up coming out in like a song like that, like River. It's a totally different style of playing, but hopefully if you absorb it and you learn and you spend the time, and at the end of it all, it comes out sounding like you. So
Yeah, that's right. That's why we love you, Steve. 'Cause you got that. You got the magic there.
Well, thank you, Mike.
What about some awards? I know, now let's talk Junos.
Yeah,
We've got, I think we got a photo of you at the Junos, but you won in 2012, was it? No,
2013, but the record came out in 2012. Yeah.
Okay.
That record that I was nominated for, A Natural Fact.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is.
Yeah,
That's
there
me
you
at
are.
me at the
Look at
Junos,
you.
and
Photo
that
op.
that was when I actually won. I'll never forget it. A quick story about that. I know we're allowed to talk like this, aren't we? Are we allowed
Yeah.
to talk like this?
We can go on all night.
Okay, so, all right. So my wife and I, she came out with me, and it was in Regina when the first time I was nominated, and we did all the stuff, and I just was like, okay, it's going to be great. Just enjoy it, and it doesn't matter if you win, doesn't matter if you lose. It really is true, because the nomination was such a special thing. Yeah. So then we go out there, and all of the other people in the blues category that were nominated were seated at the other end of the arena, because it's this big, huge arena that they were doing. This is not the televised portion of it on the Sunday. This is the show where it's on the Saturday where they give out the bulk of the awards. So we were at the furthest part back that you could possibly be at, and we were not seated with anybody else. I was with, not anybody that we knew, engineers and different people, and it was nice to meet those people, but everybody else was way at the front where all the performances were happening. So right away it was like, oh man, this is kind of a letdown. Like I'm way at the back. Like it's
They
probably
put me here for a reason.
And so so we were just like, okay, whatever, right? So then all of a sudden there's a performance, and Colin James was nominated for a Juno that year. Colin's awesome, and he did a performance to kick off the night, and then boom, all of a sudden the lights come on and everyone says, turn around your chairs. And it was the host who at that time was Gian Gameshi, who was the host. And so we all turn around and we realized, oh my God, we're at like table number 3. Like you're right at the very front. So my wife and I look at each other, and thank goodness, I think that night it might have been the second or even third award that they announced was the Blues Album of the Year.
Wow.
And so there we are seated together, and all of a sudden they bring up the category. And before I even know what's happening, the TVs everywhere. There's like 100 TVs in the place. And then they announced that I had won. And I just sat there for a minute, and I was like, is this happening? It was really cool. It was really absolutely amazing. So it was a very special thing. And then I've been, my 2 records after that were also like nominated, which is
nominated right after that.
Yeah.
Now, there's another one I'd like to mention, the International Blues Challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Now, that was in Memphis?
That was in Memphis, Tennessee last year.
Let's hear the story on that, because I got to say, like, how do you win as the #1 guitarist in America? Like, you're from Canada.
It's an international competition.
Yeah.
Okay, so it has to be said that the idea of a competition when you're talking about things like what we're doing, this is art, and so that's always been a little strange for me. But I decided to go down, and my agent I'd been down in 2009 with my band and done very well there, and then we did subsequent tours in Brazil and Mexico from that, so it really, I did very well there. So I decided to go back as a solo, and out of 160 performers from all over the world, they narrow it down to, I think it's like 32, and then they do the final cut, which is like 8, and you play at the Orpheum in Memphis, Tennessee on the Saturday. 8 solo people, and then there's a band category of 8 people. And then, so it was amazing just to get to that level, just to be able to make it all the way to that. And then when they announced for the solo category, best guitar player was me. It was incredible.
Mind-boggling.
To get that kind of recognition on an international stage like
International. And
Yeah.
And I'm sure the other 160 guys were no slouches on the blues guitar.
No,
right?
there was some
They're
really,
killer
really
players.
great people. And, you know, that's what I love about that, and I've talked to other people that have gone, is that experience of being able, where else can you go and find like-minded people that love the style of music that you're all playing in all of its beautiful facets. There's, you know, acoustic blues and heavy and rock-driven blues and all that stuff, but it's just everybody checking out people's music, each other's music, you know. So it was really cool. I really enjoyed going.
Nice. Well, let's do another one for the folks. What do you say?
Yeah,
This is one of your earlier songs from an earlier album, I believe.
Yeah. I'm going to grab the other guitar for this one.
Okay, you're going to grab the 335.
Well, you've got one.
I got one. Yeah, you get one.
All right, let's.
And Steve's is a custom shop 335.
Yeah, I got to give a shout out to my friends at Gibson Guitars.
Gibson, they sponsor you, right? Or sort of. Or
They do. I'm very lucky to have an artist endorsement with Gibson Guitars that I have for many years now. But they, you know, they're wonderful people. I went to the NAMM show this year in California, and I did a showcase for Gibson Guitars. Met a lot of great people there, and so yeah, I feel like I'm a kid in a candy shop with these things. You know what I mean?
All right, cool. Little retuning here.
Now we're gonna get down and dirty with some blues out there for the people at home.
All right.
Honey, don't you leave me like you always said. you would. Honey, just give me a chance. I can show you about romance. Honey, I know that I can be good. Baby, you're gonna bleed me dry just like a stone. Every morning at sunrise, want you there right by my side. Honey, won't you please come home? Honey, you know what I want. Honey, get yourself to the phone. Honey, I could try so hard. Honey, won't you please come home? Honey, won't you please come home? Honey, you know what I want. Honey, get yourself to the phone. Honey, I could try so hard. Honey, won't you please come home? Honey, won't you please come home? Honey, won't you please come home? Yeah, yeah. Ooh, ooh.
Hey,
Thank
honey.
you. Thank you.
Oh man, that was sweet.
And the crowd goes wild.
What crowd? So that's, I mean, you're not just a guitar player, Steve. You also play the harmonica, right?
I do. I play
And
the
you're
harmonica.
also sponsored by a harmonica company, I believe.
Yeah, my friends at Seidel,
Seidel.
in Germany, which is a wonderful wonderful company. That came to be because when I was in California at the NAMM show, I love to play harmonica, and I went by to see what they have, and they showed me these brand new beautiful harps. So I started playing them and fell in love with it, and then I got in touch with them saying it was great. You know, here's what I do, and they checked out my website and my bio and all the traveling and touring that I do, and we worked out a deal that I'm fully endorsed by Seidel Harmonica. So thank you to my friends in Germany for that, and I happen to have one right here.
Yes, let's hear a little bit of Seidel harmonica for the folks in Germany. Who knows, they could be watching. And they'll send money maybe. And by the way, I might like to mention that if anyone feels like donating tonight, we're hoping, we're running this whole show in the hopes of getting some donations. So feel free to hit that donate button there, because we would love any help we can get here. We're still kind of locked down here at the theater, especially for live performances. So please donate if you can. And meanwhile, let's hear some harmonica.
All right. I've got one thing to say, just one thing to say. One thing will never change. We are all the same. It's all about the love. Somehow there's never enough. It all starts with listening. You take what you put in, and there's just one thing to say. Just one thing to say. One thing will never change. We are all the same. We are all the same. And it's all about the love. Somehow there's never enough. It all starts with listening. You take what you put in, and there's just one thing to say. Just one thing to say. One thing will never change. We are all the same. Yeah. Thank you.
That was nice, Steve.
I could just keep doing that.
Yeah.
I like that one. Let's do it again.
Yeah, I'll do it again. No. No, we got more coming, so we got to keep moving here. Yeah. Now, I just want to talk a bit about your albums. You've had 7 albums out since the beginning.
Yeah.
And we're now on number 7. The last one is called Tired of Talking.
Tired of Talking.
Hey, let's get down to it, you know, get her done.
My friend Gail sent me this really, really cool mask, this idea of a mask. And across the front of it, it said, "Tired of talking."
Oh,
so good idea. Gail's probably watching. She's awesome. So hello to Gail and all of my people that I love out there that help me and support me. You know who you are. You guys are wonderful, and I love you all. So
yeah, especially Gail. She's been good. She was working with me earlier, and I love her. Tired of Talking, I think you did the CD release party right here at the Westdale.
Man, it was so great. So to be fair, at that time, at least, the Westdale and all the people that are working so hard to make this such a beautiful place, that this was a bit outside of what they were looking to do, to say, okay, we're going to have full rockin' band up here and loud and people going nuts, let's do it. So it took a little bit of doing, but I really thought that this was the place to do it, and I really had in my mind what a special thing it would be, because me traveling and working with those great people that I did in Nashville, and that record produced by Dave King, who he worked so incredibly hard on it and co-wrote so many of the songs on there with me. So, but it was really special, and then when we did it here, it was beautiful. It was perfect, and
nice.
So I'm really appreciative to all the people at the Westdale. So to echo your remarks that you were making earlier, if you can help out, let's try and keep this place rolling, because it's hard enough right now. Yeah. With all the things that are going on in the world, so to try and have a place where people can be creative and have a wonderful art space like this in a community is really important.
Thank you, Steve. I couldn't have said it better myself, and that's so true. Hey, Mark, can you show us like a few seconds of that clip?
Oh, you got a clip.
We got a clip, I think.
I love it.
Well, that's us live, but I mean the clip. But here we go. Hey, look at that. Your name up in the lights.
You really know you make my head swim. You're the reason for the shape I'm in. I think you know it, you got attitude. Ain't nobody like you. I gotta say that you got it. Oh, every man that seems to want it, oh yeah. I can't stop thinking about the things that you do. I'm gonna say that there ain't nobody like you. Ain't nobody.
Sweet. Hey. Nice. Hey, that was great.
That
live.
was, man, rocking.
Yeah,
He wants
live
to
at
keep
the
it going.
Westdale.
Go ahead, Mark. He wants to keep it playing, man. I
We
like
can
that.
just go home now.
I like it. Keep it going.
Yeah. No, that was good. Live at the Westdale last summer, I think it was. So back
Yeah, it was back in June.
back in the good old days when you could, hobnob with your friends and have a good time. Well, we got another song. I think this is from an earlier album, Soul Searching. We're gonna do, right?
Yeah, this song, this is a really special song for me, and people that are out there that have seen me play before, they know that this is definitely one that's almost always on my set list. This is one of those songs which is really nice. If you don't play it sometimes at the end of the night, people get mad. They'll be like, "Hey, man, what's
Hey.
up? You didn't play Soul Searching." I'm like, "Oh, sorry. I guess I should make sure I do that." But
Okay.
yeah, so
Better do it now.
you know the thing about writing songs, if I could say this, that's one of the things that I love to do. But I don't. I'm not one of these guys that wakes up in the morning and all of a sudden you just go, "Hey, I'm going to write a song. I've got it."
No, me either.
Some people are like that. I'm not one of those people. I have to work at it, and you have to sort of be ready when inspiration strikes.
Yeah.
And this is a song that I wrote on my first record, and it came together incredibly quickly. It was like I wrote this tune in like 20 minutes.
Nice.
And then you start playing it for people, and you hope that it resonates with them, and this certainly seems to be one that has done that for me. So I thought we'd play it here. Why not? Can you forgive me for hanging you out? I have my freedom, but I still have my doubts. Nobody sees me with a cloud on my head, but I can feel it. It circles I bear. So searching now, so searching now. You are my brother, and that doesn't change. Blood's thicker than water, but it flows just the same. How many times will I start up again? Somebody help me. I can't find my friends. So searching down, so searching down, so searching down, so searching down. if you read between the lines, I am caught up in the fact, and I may be down, oh, but baby, I'm trying, so searching now, so searching now, so searching now, so searching now. All my friends at home, you know that usually you sing along at this part. So tonight we're gonna get the one and only Mike McCurlie. Mike McCurlie's gonna sing along, ladies and gentlemen. Your part goes just like this. Goes like this. So searching now. Give it to me, Mike. So searching now. Keep it going, Mike. So searching now. Keep it going, man. So searching now. Keep it going, buddy. So searching now. So searching. I've been trying to make it. So searching now. Don't you know we're gonna get through it? So searching now. Lord, I'm trying. So searching now. Lord, I'm trying. So searching now. So searching now. Yes, buddy.
How about it? Steve Strongman, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, heck, geez. You know, we're getting to the close of the show.
God,
and
are we?
Yeah, well, look, it's almost like we've been going on and on and on. Maybe people are falling asleep out there, so.
I hope not, but I want to say thank you so much, Mike. I really appreciate you inviting me out tonight, and to all the people working hard here, Dan and the whole team at the Westdale.
Oh,
Thank
yeah.
you guys. We really appreciate everything that you're doing. And you're doing this every single week, right?
Yeah, that's right.
It's awesome,
It's
man.
my new job. I love it.
I love it.
I'm just loving it.
I love it. It's really great, and it's been a blast to be on it with you. Thanks, Mike.
So I just want to put in a plug for Steve Strongman here, his website, stevestrongman.com. How else can people get a hold of you, Steve?
They can find me out there in all the craziness of
social stuff.
Social stuff, you know, definitely my Facebook page, and you know, Instagram and Twitter and all that other stuff. But you know, I don't even know what's coming out now. There's all these new things,
Yeah.
right? I ask my kids now. I have to ask my kids.
Yeah,
I
me
go,
too, yeah.
What TikTok?
What's that?
What is this? Like, what is going on with this? Like, but there seems to be a new one all the time. So, yeah, and I do want to say shout out to my beautiful wife and my two kids. There's been a lot of amazing, positive, strange, positive things that have happened from this obviously terrible situation. But one of them is me getting to spend so much time with my wife and kids and be around. It's a lot of time, and take a step back and just look and see what's going on in the world. And you know, it's been very weird. But it also has been a lot of really positive things from it, too.
That's right. We were talking earlier up in the green room about that. And although it's strange times, a lot of us musician types are positive about it and making the most of it. So thanks a lot for watching the show. I want to say thanks to our sponsor, Marie Phillips, who I also have to mention.
She's awesome.
It's Marie, and it's also her birthday, it turns out, is the same as your birthday.
Is that right?
Well, when is it?
Happy birthday. May 13th is my birthday.
Okay, well, apparently that's Marie's birthday.
Marie,
so.
thank you. She's so awesome.
So Marie from Next Steps Planning and IPC Securities.
Hello, Marie.
Okay,
great.
and we also want to thank Nathan Fleet here, our cameraman. You can't see him.
Yes,
'cause
Nathan.
He's on the other side of the camera, but he's volunteering his time here. He's with the Hamilton the film guys, and he's also a great musician. I just found out. I did not know that. Nathan Fleet. So check him out on nathanfleet.com. We also got Dave on sound, Dave Plant. We got Mark Scola on the online stuff. I don't know, all that magic equipment he's got that sends it out there. And a special shout out to Patrick Maye from Clearcable. I know he's been totally doing this with us. And our own staff, Neil and Dan here from the Westdale. So thanks to everyone. And one more thing, we're going to do one more song, but before we get to it, I want to say we got another Steve on next week. Steve Smith.
Awesome.
Well, you guys know him as Red Green.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, Steve Smith's
great.
coming on next week. And yes, he is a musician, and yes, he's written a bunch of songs. So hang in for that. Next week, Red Green coming on. All right, so thanks a lot for watching. We're going to finish up with one more song from Steve Strongman.
Yeah, we're going to finish up with Living the Dream off the Tired of Talking record.
Off the brand new record. It's all about traveling all over, but it comes back to the hammer, doesn't it?
Sure does, buddy.
We're all just living the dream, people.
I've been riding high, coming up from that low. From everywhere back to Ontario. I'll punch out to the North Pole. Kitchener down to Baltimore. I've been everywhere, also it seems, hitting that highway, living the dream, living the dream. Oh, it hangs around close enough to touch, and it shines so bright you can't see nothing but. It'll wake you up when you're deep in the night. You have no choice living in the light. And you still get up even from your knees. You're hitting that highway, living the dream, living the dream, living the dream. Vancouver, Memphis, Tennessee, and Winnipeg out to Calgary, Montreal to Washington, straight back to the truth in Hamilton. It's what I do, it's a part of me. I'm hitting that highway, living the dream, living the dream, living the dream, living the dream, living the dream.
Thanks a lot, folks. See you next week. Thank you.